everyone, so I hope you all are fine. I'm Natasha and welcome back. So today we're gonna continue our chapter 1, and that is sets. So in the previous video we discussed about some types of sets. Basically it was actually intersection of sets, isn't it? Yeah. So in this video we're going to discuss about difference of sets. So we're going to discuss about two topics, and that's going to be difference of sets, and the second topic is going to be disjoint sets. Okay, so let's discuss these type of sets, and so let's get started. So first we have first we're going to discuss about difference of sets. So let me just write the heading. What is it? It's difference of sets. Difference basically means a subtraction, but we aren't going to do any subtraction in sets, let me just write it again, okay? Yeah. Okay, difference of sets. Okay, so difference of sets. So, we're not going to talk about the subtraction of sets, like we're going to subtract a set, like set A and B, we're going to subtract them. No, this is nothing like, it's nothing about that. So, it's just to, what basically what is all about, what is difference of sets all about? It's just only about, we have to, find that what elements of, like, let's say we have two sets, set A and B as usual, and so let's say like we have to find, we're gonna have a look at the elements of A that doesn't belong to set B. The elements of A that doesn't belong to set B. So basically that's what difference of sets is. Like we have to find the elements like which belongs to one set, but the another one doesn't belong to it. Okay, so let me write the, statement that I've just, told you all here. Yeah. So what is it? So it is like we've taken two sets. So what I'm going to say is that the difference of sets written A minus B. Let me change the marker like it's light. So let me change it. Okay. Yeah, so what I was saying is that A minus B, which we, like how to, this is what the difference of set is. So A minus B is the set of the elements, of set A that doesn't belong to set B. So this is what difference of set is. A minus B we have is the difference of sets, and A minus B is the set of the elements, the elements of set A that doesn't belong to set B. So we're talking about the elements that so A minus B is the set of elements of set A that are not the element of B. We can also say it like in this way, so that are not the element of B. So like I think that's like more better than the statement that I've written on the board. So I'm just gonna rub it a little bit. So like we can be a little bit confused with it. So I'm gonna change it a little bit. Okay, like that will be more easy for us to understand. So A minus B is the set of all elements of A that are not the elements of B. So A minus B is the set of all elements of A, set A, that are not the elements of set B. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so A minus B is the set of all elements of set A that are not the elements of set B. This is what the statement we have. Got it? Okay, so let's take examples, so that we can understand difference of sets clearly. Okay, it's the set of all elements of set A that are not the elements of B. So let's take a same example, related to these two sets. Okay, so for example, okay, let's say that set A is equal to the elements, wait a second. Yeah, set A is equal to the elements, let's say 1, 2, and 3. And set B is equal to the elements 3 and 5. Okay, so we have two sets, and there are, and their elements, like elements are all given to us. So set A is equal to the elements 1, 2, 3, and set B is equal to 3 and 5, as elements. Okay, so what do we have to do? We have to find A minus B and B minus A. So the difference of set A to B, and then the difference of set B to A. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so first of all, we're going to find A minus B. So first part, as the first part, we have to find A minus B. So A minus B is actually going to be equal to, okay, so in set A, we can see we're only going to write those elements that are not that are not the elements of set B. Okay, so A minus B is going to be the set of all elements of A that are not the elements of B. Okay, like I can say that 1 is in an element of set B, so I'm going to write that A minus B is equal to the elements 1. And then next, what I'm going to write is going to be 2, because 2 is the element of set A, but is in an element of set B. Okay, so the second. Okay, now the third one. Okay, so I think there isn't going to be a third one, because in set A we have only 3 elements, but in set B we have we have one common element, and that is 3, and so that's it. Like what I will say is that A minus B is equal to the elements 1 and 2. That's it, because 1 and 2 are the elements of A, but when these elements doesn't belong to set B. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Now the second part we're gonna write, we're gonna solve is going to be B minus A. Okay, so now the second part. So what it is B minus A. Okay, now B minus A. So first of all, we're gonna see. Okay, so in set B we have only 2 elements, and that is 3 and 5. And in set A, we can see that according to 3 is a common, so we're not going to write it. So there's only 5 the element. So we have only 1 element left, and that is 5. Because, else, 1, 2, 3 will not be considered, because we're finding the difference of set B and set A. So, set B minus A. So B minus A is going to be B from A. Sorry, A from B. Okay? Yeah. So so in set B we have 2 elements, and that is 3, and 3 is the common, so what I will write is going to be only 5. That's it. So B minus A is equal to the elements only and only 5. Okay, so have you noticed one thing, that I can say that B minus A is actually a singleton set. So I can say that B minus A is a singleton set. Isn't it? Of course it is. So, because there's only one element. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And, okay, yeah, that's it. So, and yeah, what if I'm going to talk about the intersection of sets? So, A intersection B. If we have to find A intersection B is actually going to be equal to 3, element 3. And this is also going to be a singleton set. Okay, yeah, because there is only one element that is, common in both the sets, so that is 3. And if we're going to talk about the union of set A and B, so it's going to be set A union B is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 5. Because we're not going to repeat, we're going to write all the elements once, okay? Oh, no need to repeat them. So only 1, 2, 3, 5. That's it. Intersection of sets and union of these sets, and the difference of these sets. Okay, so we mainly discuss about difference of sets. So that was basic, that was the basic things that we need to we had to understand in difference of sets. So now let's move on to our next type of set, and that is disjoint sets. Okay, so disjoint sets are let me write the heading. Okay, not in the mid actually. I am going to write it right here. So what it is disjoint sets. Yeah, you can even guess it by the name, like disjoint, like, oh, which means they're not joint or like something else. Yes, yeah, it's actually like that way. Okay, so and it's also really easy, so let's continue. Okay, so disjoint set is actually let's say we have two sets, set A and B. Set A is equal to the elements 1, 2, 3, and set B is equal to the elements 4, 5, 6. So can you tell me, like, is there any element that is common, in between those, in between those two sets? No, because in set A we have only three elements, and that is 1, 2, 3. But in set B we have also 3 elements, but those aren't 1, 2, 3. They are 4, 5, 6. So I can say that there's nothing common. There's nothing common between them. So disjoint set is actually, I can say it is the opposite of intersection of set. Okay, let me write it in the bracket. So it's going to be the opposite of intersection of sets. Okay, so disjoint set is actually the opposite of intersection of sets. So in intersection of sets, we find we usually write the common elements. Okay, but in disjoint set, disjoint set is a set in which we write like in disjoint set, so we don't have any common elements. So what I can say is that it's like we don't have any like common elements. So like in set A, like let's take example. But before taking example, I'm gonna write a small statement related to disjoint sets. And oops, I didn't mean to like rub it off something else. Okay, let me write it again. Disjoint. Okay. I'm gonna write it again. Disjoint sets. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna write a small statement related to disjoint sets. So it's actually a pair of sets which doesn't have any common element. So it is a pair of sets. A pair of sets which doesn't have any common element. Yeah, a pair of sets which doesn't have any common elements are called disjoint sets. Okay, that is the small statement that I wanted to write. Okay, a pair of sets which doesn't have any common elements are called disjoint sets. A pair of sets which doesn't have any common elements are called disjoint sets. Okay, yeah. So let's move on to example. Let's just move on to example. So I hope you have understood about disjoint sets, and if not, then let's take the example. So, and then I'll be pretty sure, and you'll be also pretty sure that we have understood about the sets. Okay, disjoint sets. So let's take the same example that I just said, like set A is equal to the elements 1, 2, 3, and set B is equal to the elements I am gonna say 4, 5, and 6. So there isn't anything common, so which means that this is an example. So this set, I can say that set A and B are disjoint sets. That's it, nothing else. They're not having any relationship between them. Like, there aren't having any relationship between each other. So what I'll say is that set A and B are disjoint sets. Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't have any common, we're not having any common element in these two sets, like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And in set B, we have 4, 5, 6. One thing is common, that in both the sets, we have 3 elements. Number of elements, we have 3. But that doesn't matter at all. So what I'm going to say is that set A and B are disjoint sets. And so actually, But yeah, actually, so what I can say is that set A and B are really actually, an empty set. So an empty set, because we don't have any common set, we're not having any common elements. So what does that mean? So we'll have 0 elements, which means that is going to be empty set. That's what disjoint sets is about. Okay, so that's all for today, and I hope you all have understood everything, because actually we have already discussed about 2 topics, that is difference of sets and disjoint sets, which is the opposite of intersection of sets. Yeah. So, that's all for today, and in the next video we're gonna, do some practice question related to, our previous topics, and see you in the next video. So, thanks for watching and have a great day.